Hiya. I'm Charlie, and I'm a form student at Folkestone School for Girls.
Okay. Can you tell what genre of music this magazine is specialising in or is for?
Well, judging from the contents of the magazine, and particularly the front cover, I would say it's an indie genre. I think it would sort of stick mainly to indie genre, or perhaps a little bit of rock.
Alright, would you say there's a subgenre there, or...?
Yeah, probably sort of funky rock, but it's mainly...
Alright, what sort of audience do you think this has?
Judging from the fact that on the front cover you've got a young sort of female teenager, I'd say it would be reflecting sort of the age range of a young adult in their early 20s, or perhaps teenagers.
Alright, would you say that the content would attract other people, or would you think that it's quite a secular audience?
I think it's quite secular, but you'd be sort of pushing it with late 30s in this magazine, but obviously it would be a huge minority.
Okay, so quite a young audience.
Yeah, I'd say it's quite a youthful sort of magazine.
What would you say would attract them to that?
I'd say it's for sort of teenagers to listen to a lot of music, so it's advertised for a lot of music that is I don't know what to say.
Okay, what attracts you to it?
What would attract me to it is the fact that it's a very brightly coloured magazine. That's what makes it attractive. It's not all one colour. You've got various sort of like oranges and greens, and the picture sort of takes up the entirety of the page, and you don't really have to sort of squint to look at anything. It's all sort of there.
So, what do you think of the editorial and the words written in the main article?
I think it's really good that, seeing as it's her debut album, you've got quite a bit about her background and her music taste, just sort of like get her onto the scene, if you know what I mean.
Would you say that the background information, such as what she's inspired by, would attract people that hadn't heard of her to her music?
Yeah, I'd say that, because in that way they can relate to what she's listened to in the past, and perhaps as she is like a sort of urban singer, but maybe they'll get into her taste in music that she writes for now.
Alright, is there anything in the editorial that you would want to hear more about, or anything that I haven't included?
I think it would be better if you sort of mentioned a bit more about the record label that she has been signed to, and how she was sort of discovered.
Okay.
Apart from that, it's quite good.
Well, the magazine itself is specialising in unsigned bands and unknown bands, so would you say that it's as important in that style of magazine to include that?
I wouldn't say it would make a double page. I'd say that perhaps it'd be sort of like a minor story, just sort of telling people that maybe someone they know is unsigned is now signed up. So.
Oh, okay. Alright, so like in her rise to fame, before she got the double page spread and was immensely famous, it could have a little article saying Frances Champion now signed.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Alright, well I'll think to include that next time. Okay, can I talk to you about the various pages in my coursework? Can you go on the front page, please? I just want to talk to you about what you like, what you don't like, what would you change about this page on its own.
Well, what I like about the front page is that it's, you know, sort of putting out their new kid on the block. It's very edgy, and I like the fact that the picture isn't, well, it is photoshopped obviously, but it's not over the top, and yeah, I like the front cover quite a bit. However, I probably prefer to see the logo of the unsigned band company sort of be a bit more advertised as being a logo, because it's sort of the same size as the text, so it's kind of hard to figure out whether it is just a piece of random writing or...
Oh, do you mean the Unicode
Yeah.
thing? Okay, well, I tried to make it a bold masthead, but I think the use of white compared to the rest of the cover of all the bright colours is a bit washed out. I thought that when I was making it. Would you say that I should make that bolder or change the logo or something?
I'd probably say make the text a little bit more narrow, but thicker in the sense that the logo might come down to here perhaps, instead of finishing up here.
So a bigger mask text, would you say?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What would you what if you looked at this front cover on a magazine? Would the things written on it interest you to read on, or does it not really bother you? Assuming that all of these artists were real.
What I do like about it is the fact that it doesn't just focus on the main story. You've also got a plus section, and you can also read about the unsigned awards and Anthem of the Year and stuff like that.
Okay, so do you like that the magazine has those features that aren't central on artists but are about the music scene as a whole?
Yeah, I do like that because not only do you get to have a look at the artists, but you can see ways in which they can get themselves heard, like at award ceremonies and concerts and stuff like that.
Good one. Right, okay. We've really talked about the middle page, but can I just go back on it and say, is there anything else you'd like to add, about the pictures or the font or anything like that?
Well, I do like the fact that you have got the photo shoot section at the bottom, sort of relatively similar background, and I like that sort of section. Apart from that, I really do like the main page, the main story that is.
Okay, would you say that the font at the header that says Francis Champion represents the magazine effectively and the artist?
I like the fact that the font is very alternative and different. Like, not every letter's written in the same style, so it sort of shows like a youthful sort of attitude to what you're going to be writing about, reading about.
Okay, and the contents page finally? Okay, for me, this is my least favourite page, but what would you say is, what do you like about it, what don't you like about it, etc.?
I do like the fact you've included an editor's note on the contents page. However, I think it's a bit too wordy on the contents. Like, all the text is quite bold, and you've used quite a few bright colours, and I think you could use a few more pastel colours on features and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had trouble making it realistic but keeping it minimalist as well, so next time would you suggest that I tried harder to do that, or?
Yeah, I think it's something to consider.
Okay, and is there anything else that you'd say that you liked, or?
I like the fact that you've actually put the contents title similar to the logo.
Yeah, it's the same font.
Yeah. Apart from that, I do like the fact that it's not just one image, you've got several ones bordering a main image.
Okay, and would you say that there are alternative, well, not alternative, but are they suitable for the magazine, and would they interest you to see what articles they represent?
Yeah, I think so. I like the fact that you haven't got pictures of just artists, you've got pictures that may have been sent in from readers, like being at festivals like that one there.
Yeah.
And, I think that's a good input.
Okay, and well, this magazine is quite centred on live music and gigs, so would that be a good incentive for you to read it?
Yeah, because I know that lots of teenagers like to go around their local areas and go to local festivals. I mean, obviously they'll go to main ones like Download, but you also have local festivals and they know local bands, and perhaps they hope that they'll not hear about them in here.
Okay, and okay, would you say that that the design of this is quite unique, or?
I'd say it has a typical sort of rock indie magazine look because everything's high in contrast, and they do use a lot of blacks and reds. It's like all the pictures are contrasted, so you've got quite a lot of black elements in there.
Okay. If this was on a shelf, would you be attracted to it?
Perhaps if I sort of singled it out from everything else, but apart from that, I would sort of criticise it in the sense that it does look very typical.
Okay. Lastly, from the magazine, like looking through it, do you get any particular impressions about the attitude that it gives and what sort of message it has?
It has a very sort of live life to the full sort of message. It's a very sort of sharp magazine, and the attitude that it gives off really does grab the reader's attention. It's not just a very boring magazine.
Okay, so if this was on a shelf, would you be attracted to it?
Perhaps if I sort of singled it out from everything else, but apart from that, I would sort of criticise it in the sense that it does look very typical.
Okay. Would you buy it? You're allowed to say no.
Yeah. It's not really my sort of music genre, so I would say no. But
oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I do believe that if someone did like indie music, that they would be very attracted to listening to.
Alright, how do you think it could be improved?
I think here you could have minimised this picture a bit because you've already got lots of photo shoots here, and the pictures are quite good, but I think there could be a lot more text written in there.
Okay, what do you, all in all, what do you think of it? Just your general opinion?
I do think it is a very edgy magazine. Yeah. Overall, I do think I like it, yeah. It's got a nice typical magazine look, but it does stand out quite a bit from others as well. It's very balanced.
Okay, well, thank you, and I will put this on my blog. Thank you.